Hey guys, back here again with the best Yu-Gi-Oh podcast released on a Tuesday. We missed out on a week, but we've got a lot of things to talk about that we missed out last week. YCS Niagara, ban list, Utrecht just got announced. We're back with the usual suspects: Alex, Gabe, and Sam.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
You should the intro.
Right, that's better. That's better. He's got more enthusiasm.
I think you fully should.
Okay, but yeah, we got Niagara to go over, possible ban list, Utrecht. Then we've got Sam here as well, so it's all good. So I can't believe we actually missed out on talking about Niagara, but Exosister won. Which the second I saw, I think it was the top 8 bracket, I was like, Exosisters won the event. I messaged the only Exosister player I know, and I was like, Exosisters won the event, feel good about yourself. And it happened.
Nah, it was a Ryan Yu deck list, man. That guy's sick. Like, that guy is sick, bro. Like,
is he better than you?
Yeah.
Ryan's too good, man. Like he legit didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh for like 2 months. He showed up a week before and put this deck list together, and went 9-0 on Twitter. Then a guy of the same list won the event.
Like they definitely before that tournament just played games against the deck versus Sprite and the tier decks that they were expecting, and they were just winning consistently. Like obviously what we did with our plant deck, and they were like, this is enough, and like I think we're gonna win games, and yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah, the thing I still don't get is really like the Necro Valley in the main deck, but like it just seems a bit off. Just a bit
Another terraforming.
Yeah, just for one. I don't know. It's just like it doesn't feel. It's not a feels good Necro Valley though, in my opinion.
Yeah, he had a mine as well, right?
Yeah, he's playing mine as well. So I guess it gives like versatility to terraforming, but like maybe it's just me.
I really love terraforming.
Yeah, I don't really like that though. I don't like the versatility option when they're playing like when terraforming's at 1 and not playing anything else. Like maybe it's just me. I don't like that in deck.
One of the cool things that we saw from Niagara, other than Exosister winning, was the amount of Sprite in Top Cut. This was probably the tournament Sprite performed the most, I would say, out of all the big tournaments we had so far.
Actually.
So I think the thing that was limiting Sprite, like keeping Sprite at bay, was the amount of Dark Ruler No Mores in the main deck, and it was like every deck had it. And when people started cutting it, the Sprite board isn't as easy to break when you think about this. If they sometimes just go end on the full board, like Elf, Toad, Red, and you don't have one card to just deal with the whole board, it can be a bit difficult.
Yeah, I think like at the start of the format, everyone just assumed Sprite was the best deck, and everyone was preparing their deck to beat Sprite.
Yeah,
because
I'm pretty sure when we started theorying, we said, right, 3 Dark Ruler in the main is like the first card you put in any deck, and then it's not actually correct at this point. So the fact that it's not surprising Sprite's doing well.
Because the Eradicators, like it's a bit of gamble. Like I'm a main Star Ruler No More, just to know that the second versus half the majority of the meta is just not gonna enough. So that's where Sprite becomes a bit better.
I mean, even though like Sprite is almost 50%, like Tyramon is like, it's not realistic. It's not that far behind. It's probably like 3 players behind, right?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, even though we topped a lot, I think top 8 had like 4 tier.
I think
or something like that. Or 1 Sprite.
Yeah.
Only 1 pure Sprite. There's only 1 pure Sprite deck in top 8.
Yeah.
It's with chances list. I think I actually have it here.
I think that just shows like how good the tier deck is at beating the Sprite deck. The player quality might be like a thing with that matchup.
Because I do think top cut was insane, right? From what I remember.
I do think the gas, like the tier decks that have a lot of gas, do beat the Sprite deck if the tier player is like very good and know how to like efficiently play around with the hand traps.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. It's just.
How do you think the Christian Urena like hand trap tier deck is into Pure Splight? I feel like it's good into tier, but I'm not sure how good it is into Pure Splight.
I think it should be okay. The one issue that I have with the Pure Sprite is just like it kind of, because it doesn't play the other extenders that the Danger tier deck plays, it doesn't have a lot of ways to play through Kit Kalos getting stopped. So I think Gunter's approach is more like, you get hand trapped, you're gonna set Animiscus, and then they're gonna try to play Animiscus, then you trigger the tier. But I don't know. I tried it because I think it would be sick if it worked reliably, but it felt bricky.
I think the surprise factor helped him because it's not like you see the cards and you don't actually know what exactly you're playing around. Like you see Terra Effect, you're probably like, okay, Danger tier, and you probably just play a lot differently. Like you're probably just walking into every single hand trap, He was playing all the Veilers and Nibiru. I'm pretty sure he was like imperm
And
most
Morna
of
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Morna, like he was playing all the Veilers and Nibiru. I'm sure everyone just played into that, and he could have just won like insta-1 games if he drew like Nibiru plus one of the effect negations. Yeah, I think maybe the surprise factor of it made it do a lot better than it should have, because it's a lot more fairer.
I'm surprised he's not playing High Spirits. It looks like a deck that would play High Spirits better than most of their variants. But he chose not to play it. I just sent a list on the group chat, the last one.
Yeah, you double posted.
Did I? Oh shit.
He wasn't playing any Nessie.
No.
Maybe he just didn't want the bricks. Maybe he just wanted to draw like minimize 40 cards and just draw as many hand traps.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing is like when you cut Nassies, your mills start to become a lot worse as well because you miss Aquas for Kalos.
Yeah. I feel like this is also a little bit weird because, as you said, like after the normal summon, there was like you've got like 2 effects per turn, really, right, to like make a play with.
This is a proper mid-range tier deck. Like I think he's playing for he wants to play for a couple turns.
Yeah.
The looks of it, like I don't think his turn 1's like oppressive. It's just you're probably going to turn 3 always.
Yeah. I think if it was a scenario that like Rhino Heart resolves always, it would be fine. But I think like if you look at the list of the start cards, I think there's a big transition from board breakers to hand traps.
Yeah.
It's just a nature, right? You can't play a bunch of board breakers when everyone was an Eradicator in Rio.
Yeah.
And then and Oceanics and all that. So
it's just the shift in the format again, right? Because then like as it goes back towards hand traps, then board breakers will get more value. So
because for example, if people stop playing Eradicator, they go back into playing more normal tier that just gets blown out by Mine and Dark Mine and Evenly and things like that. Maybe you swap back to that.
Like you'll probably see talents come back if people are playing hand traps. Like Joshua Schmidt just won a regional, and he was maining 3 talents in his.
I mean, it makes sense.
Even that,
it's hand trap format almost.
Even the hand traps, what is it? Like even Jesse, it's not like I haven't seen hand traps in tier lists, like the danger tier list especially. But Jesse's go second place list. He decided to main 3 Nibiru just because how impactful it was.
Yeah. That's just because it catches the mirror off guard more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
And
you need
Splight player doesn't play around it as well, right?
Difficult. It's difficult for tiers to play around it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they just walk into it.
It's just annoying. Like I mean, because for example, in Jesse's deck, one of the annoyances I have with Nib in that one is that if you draw Nib into Sprite, you can't really resolve it. I think Nib is alright into Sprite if you're playing more hand traps, but if you're playing just Nib, it kind of never works because it will actively play around it. Maybe just like my matchup is so good against Sprite, I can afford to have the death card.
That was his like trade-off in it. Like I've got a lot of gas. I think I'm beating a lot of Sprite players. I just need to cover the tier matchup because if they do swap Dweller against me, I probably am losing. Doesn't matter if the tier. So it's just like I kind of need to stop that.
Yeah. Speaking of Niagara lists, the last one that I sent the group chat is Paolo's list, which I think is the most quintessential Paolo deck list ever. He was first after Swiss, 9-0. And then I think he lost in 16.
I'm not that surprised by it. I'm more surprised about the ordering in the extra deck than anything. But he only played 2.
There's a question mark. Yeah, he went 12.
Simple way to build Sprite. Like it does the job. You play a lot of hand traps, win a lot of games.
Yeah, it's just Paolo Yu-Gi-Oh! I think is what it is. Yeah, like that's how I see it.
It is like very streamlined. Like it cuts the second red that some people play. It cuts the carrot. It cuts the dupe frog. It doesn't play call by. It's straight up just like every single tech spot's going to be a hand trap. I'm going to draw 3 hand traps and a starter.
He just wants to be in like a super simplified game state and win from there.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out though because I think this is the same list he got. He went 7-0-2 in Rio with 2 draws and then 9-0 in Niagara. So I mean, I think it's a bit different than what everyone else is doing. I also think you got to kind of play to perfection for true.
I was gonna say that. I think like he wasn't winning because of this list. He was probably winning because he was probably able to play every game. Like his list probably gives him the ability to play every game and then just try and outplay his opponent.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah.
No, I can see that a lot.
We really should set up some way to put the lists in the podcast. I did it the one episode that I recorded, Alex, and I think it'd actually be a good addition for the future. Yeah. We'll ever implement it, but we should try it for the future.
I'll send it to James to do outsourcing. Easy.
I'm sure he'll love the editing job.
He loves it. Um,
Yeah, I think we covered Niagara, but how do you think this will
Yeah.
change going into Utrecht? Because that we just got EU just got a new YCS announced.
are
in
there
like a
any?
month's time.
There's no events before that, right? Because that's the same weekend as Quito.
There is Minneapolis.
Also Minneapolis as well.
It's the same
And there
weekend.
was more.
I think it's the same weekend as one of them. I can't remember which one, but it's the same
Uh,
weekend.
Quito is in the same weekend as Utrecht.
Oh, right.
I think it's the same weekend as Utrecht.
Yeah, Minneapolis. No, Minneapolis is the week after Utrecht. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So I think it's already heading on the direction for Utrecht's like Quito weekend. I think it's going back towards
Yeah.
hand traps, but I still think the like danger tier, with Super Poly and are they still playing Dark Ruler? I can't remember if they are. It's like Super Poly.
Not really.
This is just Super.
Imperm sometimes.
Yeah.
My list had Imperm. I've seen the balance from the weekend. One different thing is that from the real weekend to the Niagara weekend, people transition from Desires to High Spirits. Bowden's list, Shanks had High Spirits, and Parks' list from Niagara also had High Spirits.
Yeah.
I think the main idea
it's
was
fun.
there to play around like Droll and Cherries, which I've seen like when you see the danger tier deck, you probably think like those are really two really good cards against it.
Yeah. It kind of can play around Shifter to a certain extent as well, because what can happen sometimes that you try to play, you get Shifter, you chain High Spirits, and then you still get one Fusion Summon off. It's not
Pretty safe
great,
actually.
Yeah.
but it's a play. Like, backers can be choosers when you get the Shifter.
Yeah. I like that card. That card's cool though. I do like that one.
Yeah.
Inferior.
But I mean, I think danger tier will adapt. It's just the way the deck goes.
I think.
But the tier, with the tier deck, there's so much reward for building it well because you have so much flexibility. You've got 12 tier monsters that you can play, free field spell, free trap, and then the rest of the deck's really yours. Extra deck wise too, super flexible.
Yeah.
So there's loads of different ways you can adapt it.
Because I think everyone went like the super greedy direction because everyone was on board breakers, right? So after Heroes, and the Sply, the Josh's Sply deck, the spell Sply. So everyone was like, okay, I don't care about playing around 10 traps. I care about setting up the most unbreakable board possible. And then went into the cotton direction of playing Eradicator and Smashers and Jet. And then now
Sprite
if everyone's
cards.
back on
Even Pack and Couch, I think they were on Sprite cards and Pong cards.
Yeah.
So like, when we're starting, we're gonna play our game, so we might as well just try and do the.
Yeah, so just like crackhead Yu-Gi-Oh! Like every single broken engine in one. But now there's hand traps, maybe people transition from more like not mid-rangey, but like I would do a board truly or 3 hand traps.
Yeah.
I don't need to negate all spell traps. You're not able to summon monsters and like 5 other interactions. You just need like to play enough through hand traps.
I think that might be also why we saw. Sorry to go back on the Niagara topic. It's why we saw a high representation of Sprite even. Just because if people are transitioning back towards hand traps, that it does naturally play through hand traps really well. So it's easy to get to top cut.
The tier deck is also
and
hard to play.
Yeah.
I don't think if you just picked up the deck, like you don't have the luxury of just picking up the deck, going to an event and doing well with it. Where I think you can do it with Sprite. If you're just a really good Yu-Gi-Oh player, but you haven't had time to test, you played a couple games. I think you can pick up Sprite and high roll it. Whereas with tier, if you don't know the deck inside and out, it's impossible.
Yeah. I also think, like, from anecdotal evidence, if you think about those last big tournaments, most of the good players that I knew that tested a lot danger tier had a very high top rate. Like, most of the people that tested the deck, knew what they were doing, did well on average.
Yeah.
While with Splight, I think there's more things out of your control. But again, format kind of changed. There's also the thing that is RUNICK now, which wasn't really a thing like 2 weeks ago. So RUNICK cards also change a bit of the dynamic. And it's kind of like another trial.
Did well, right? There were quite a few RUNICK Sprite lists.
There was 2 or 3 tops, I think.
Yeah. At the Philly regional, 1-1, and then Pack went top 32, I think.
Yeah.
There is one from Niagara.
Next list played Hyperia, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like Hyperia. I think it's a cool idea.
Same. I need someone to give me some.
And,
Henry has
Charles-
9.
Chance's list played Desires, which was cool to see. Like we hadn't seen Desires in many Sprite lists, but the guy who made top 8, see Desires, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, the one that made top 16, I just shot it. The RUNICK Sprite one. They are playing. It's like a hand trap RUNICK Sprite, more rather than board breaker. I feel this list just doesn't play enough RUNICK cards.
No, I
Yeah, like that. I think a lot of the think a lot of the old lists hadn't played Runic cards. I think Joshua Schmidt uploaded a list with 15, and I think a high count is like is the math on fountain. Like if you're playing the Runic cards and you want to resolve fountain, you want to be able to resolve fountain like a high enough.
So
you just have to play more.
I think Po Jiang's list. I'm sorry for butchered his name, but the guy who did well at Oceanics, I took his list to a few locals, and every single time I saw like an Ash, I kind of wished it was just a Runic card because Ash just didn't feel impactful, and seeing the 2 Runics is just
being able to draw 2 is just nice.
It does have striker Arcus feels from what we were talking yesterday. It felt like you have this one engine that does things and this one engine that generates advantage.
Complement each other very well. I think they do complement each other very well.
Yeah. I think it's
Fountain is Engage.
It's better than Engage, bro.
It doesn't say different names. It doesn't say different names. What?
You can shuffle 3 and draw 1 and draw 3. It's mental.
Nah, it's I've been playtesting it a bit, and I've just been getting into states where my Runic Fountain, like after Resolve Desires and stuff, my deck is just Runic cards and hand traps. So like if I'm drawing 3, I'm drawing either like 3 more Runic cards to then draw another 3 cards the next turn, or I'm just drawing like a Runic card, 2 hand traps, and that's just also game. I don't know, it just feels broken, just forever broken.
It feels like you're talking Engage. It's like when you Shizuka and face that Engage, and you come back to your turn, and you're like, okay, alright.
It's actually just addictive, and I have no regrets. But yeah, I think that's something to look into for Utrecht coming up in 3 weeks now, is it?
3 or 4, I think.
Yeah.
4 weeks into the tournament, but 3 testing weeks, I guess. Yeah. If you don't count the tournament one.
We have a ban list too. Like, how many weeks? Oh, don't tell me they're going to drop it a week before, man.
Right? Like, we don't know if I'm about.
We really should get one. I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced. I want one.
But just gonna hope on like Darkness Ablaze and Ishizu card just like adjusting the format naturally.
Yeah, all I'm saying, Plant Gang's rising up again, boys. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Mystic Miners back. If they're not banning this card, bro, you got how many more events do they need to win? What is it? Even the Exorcist, the guy was made in Mystic Mine. He was made in 2. We were made in.
Yeah. The streak of people winning tournaments, mainly Mystic Mine, continues.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's insane.
It's kind of mad to think about, but I don't think instinct is telling me we're not getting one. That's all I'm saying.
They're not doing another event with Mystic. They cannot do another event with Mystic.
It's a streamed event as well.
It's such a meme. Like every time they stream it, you see the crowd just start going mental whenever a mine or rivalry gets flipped. Like they know that they're just getting the piss taken out of them.
It was the commentary team, bro. It was the commentary team.
Oh yeah.
Like, every single time it's like, oh, Mystic Mine. Like they were just like down bad, bro. Like they were pissed.
Yeah, we've had the same format for I don't know how many months. It's been a long time. Like this is actually one of the longer. Does it just felt long, or is
the meta has changed so much since the ban list? Like there has been so many like huge shifts. First there was Despia, then there was Despia was I think a little bit before the last list, but like it has changed so much, even in between product releases. But it's just grim now.
It's just felt long because about decks you need to learn. Just shifted so much.
I don't think it needs a huge ban list. I think it just needs like some small adjustments.
What would you
like if you touch mine, you touch one bit in each deck is actually fine. Like I've been having fun most games that I play nowadays. Just alright.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of snow. I want snow gone. Like the ability of just having that interrupting grave and then summoning it back for link fodder. Oh, it's just too much.
See, I personally like snow, but I think I like snow because it's fun to play with rather than the balanced card.
How are you supposed to out their board and deal with the snow in graveyard? You've got to kill their monsters, you've got to deal with the Tear Element trap, and you've got to deal with the snow in grave.
It feels so safe. Whenever you combo and have a snow in grave, I'm like, okay, like you can do whatever. I don't care.
Ban snow, please, I beg. And the Mystical Mine, even though I love that card.
If we got a ban list of mine, Barrier Statue, Snow, I think most people would be happy, even if it was just those 3 cards.
Why Barrier Statue, bro? Why Barrier Statue?
It's fuck Flunder, man. What's wrong with you?
Bro,
just touch Flunder.
Okay, another shout out to Chin Wagging, but I was telling people that they're bad at Flunder, because I'm convinced. I'm still convinced on this. I've not seen a Flunder player play correctly, and it's been almost a year.
Because it just makes sense. Think about it this way: if anyone's smart enough to play
They just normal summon the fucking Barrier statue, and they just lose every time.
Alex, listen to me. If anyone was smart enough to play Flunder, they just wouldn't play Flunder because the deck plays like half the time. It literally breaks 50% of their hands. Anyone that has a brain just chooses to play a real deck.
Nah. Apart from when I don't play with Flunder, I always play. So, but yeah, I like that deck. I don't think it should get hit. I just really enjoy it.
There's a reason there's 0 competent players that play Flunder.
I'm gonna have to play Flunder then and still be incompetent, so it's okay.
Exactly.
Look, I have a misprint M pen or Eglin, and I need 2 more.
Oh, that looks cool. It's one of the
Exactly. It says tin 1, yeah. So if anyone has 2 more EU print English ones, send me a DM on Facebook and we can be friends. But yeah, I need 2 more. Then I'll play Flunder, and I want a regional win because I think it'd be funny. Power to me, cool.
But I think they should touch Flunder though. I think Flunder, like, think about it this way: Flunder wasn't even the best deck in the last 2 formats, but it's still the only deck that's playable right now because of the previous decks. Because it's so ignorant that it doesn't care about what the rest of the decks are doing.
Is it even that playable though? Like,
it took like every tournament. There's always like 1 or 2 Flunder.
Yeah, I think that's
like,
more the pilot had a good day than the Flunder was good.
When you consider, like, how powerful the format is and the other decks of the format, like, like for it to be still contending is like achievement.
Yeah, I guess.
It just shows like how powerful it can be, and that's not a good thing.
See, I have a controversial opinion. I think Mathmech's the most fucked deck. Like, I hate Mathmech, man. I fucking hate Mathmech. They always, every time.
Not gonna lie.
No, man. Like, into hand traps, bro. That deck is like.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
No, into hand traps is fine though.
It's not.
Bro, they just get, as long as
fair.
they get the trap, it doesn't matter, bro. I swear down. Like,
sometimes they go Silent Mining, and you go Ash, and else they go Path.
Nah, bro.
I swear,
maybe I have a different experience to
play
everyone
through a
else.
DD Crow.
Nah, I think I have a different experience to everyone else. They always.
How's the deck outboards? Because the deck has to play like some go second cards.
Bro,
so their
all I
hand is
know-
like half the
all I
hand is
know,
like go
every
second
single
cards.
time they're opening like 4 to 5 board breaker / hand traps, and then they just activate circular every single time, 100% of the time, like every single time, and I'm pissed. No.
Bro.
Yeah, but it's when Sprite hand traps you 4 times the normal summons Diva. It's not really Sprite doing anything. It's like he drew 4 hand traps.
Exactly, but like I just ban circular, bro. Ban it, please. I beg. I don't like it.
Shut up.
How does
Honestly,
they play into Nib? Like, how do they play around Nib? Don't they just get like? Oh, to be fair, they're not end on big of a board.
They're
They're a guy making a gate.
They just have the
Yeah,
they have the negate guy, or they have a trap. Like, it's all chill. Like,
Nah, to be fair, their board doesn't end on anything, so Nib don't matter.
exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing to Nib. None of the monsters do anything. What you gonna Nibiru?
No,
Like, there's nothing you can do.
no. I just
like
hate
salad.
the trap, man. Okay, I hate the trap. I'm not a fan.
It's just Tri Brigade, and Tri Brigade was always average. And you
Nah,
played
nah,
Tri
nah,
Brigade.
The trap is more fucks. The Super Factorial is more fucks.
Nah, I hate the fact that Trap never hits my tier in hand. It will hit every single card except the tier having
Exactly. It'll hit like the good card, and then they'll hit like a guy on field, and then they have just a negate, and it's just annoying.
I'm still pissed. I lost my top 16 in Rio because I had like 3 good hits and foolish, and hit the foolish of the Trap. Just shut up.
Shut up. But yeah, that's my life. That's my my hatred for the fucking Mathmech guy.
But yeah, I mean, but assuming we get a list and it touches something, I don't think it needs to be a wipe, right? Like, I just think it needs to touch some problem cards, and it would be a lot more enjoyable. But regardless, it's kind of getting to the point we got to start testing for Utrecht, because everyone's just saying, nah, it's fine, we'll test when we get a list.
I think
I
give
mean,
it
like,
another week and a half at max.
I'm
I
giving
don't
you a
know how to
week.
play Sprite.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna start learning how to play that deck.
I mean, it's
But
the
it's
same.
not-
If you want
it's not hard.
to actually start testing and preparing for Utrecht, the only decks that I could say it's very unlikely for anything to be hit would be RUNICK Sprite. Everything
Just
else,
Sprite in
just feels
general.
it's
Like
target.
Sprite hasn't even
Yeah.
made a finals yet. Like it would
Yeah.
be very weird for them to. I can imagine the CF Teeling they somewhat hit. Maybe they could do the Snowband or maybe Nessie to 1. No, but they wouldn't do anything crazy. Just maybe.
Yeah.
use
Ban
the symbols a
Curious
bit.
would turn off most Eradicator lines as well. And I've seen a lot of people say Curious is like the card.
Curious
I
is
think
nuts.
Curious has been like a problem card though. Like it's been like a card that should be on the radar for like.
It's always been on the radar. Like it pops up and it's a problem card, and then it drops away, and then it comes back and it's just
a problem card again.
Yeah.
All right. Hot take. I think Curious is a good card for the game. Curious, like, it changes deck building a lot. It's an interesting card to play with and to play against. It's not that easy to summon like Hulk, Isolde, things like that.
I'm not too fussed. Like, if Curious is not banned, because it's an expensive card to make. It's not like a simple. I'm gonna just activate this one like easy. It's not. You have to build your deck. You have to like summon 3 monsters, and you do play into stuff in that process of summoning Curious.
I would rather they touch Snow than they touch Curious. I think Curious is fun as because I think Yu-Gi-Oh needs those kinds of cards. Yu-Gi-Oh is never going to be a perfectly mid-range game that everyone's just playing a fair deck and trading resources. Part of Yu-Gi-Oh is combo, right? I don't think you ever eradicate combo from Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think you need to have these kinds of cards.
Combo is never easy too. Like there is a really good reward for deck building a really good combo deck. Like not everyone goes to an event and like builds this really insane combo deck that only like very few are.
My only issue with it is that like I think the Curious dumps some like a power spell or trap and then setting said spell or trap off of X card is just an issue that's gonna keep on happening. And
it's expensive though.
It is expensive, but it's not really that expensive because a lot of the times like you're making Curious, you're getting value from it, you're getting value from other cards like. I'm thinking about the Danger Thunder.
It's not like a +4. It's not like you just got one.
Like in the Danger Thunder deck, it was pluses. Like in this deck, even in tiers, like just mill 3 is also a plus. Remember, like.
I think those are more issues of tier being a very good deck than Curious necessarily being insane. I mean, Curious is a good card. Don't get me wrong. It's just like those things weren't a problem for forever. It's just because tier cards are out of control. And I think even if you hit Curious now, when 2 weeks later when the Shizu cards come out, the same issue will still be there. That's why I also think hitting Snow is probably like a better hit overall, because at least you decrease the amount of things you can do rather than
I think it should definitely go.
Snow should have never came back.
Yeah, agreed.
Snow should have never came. Well, it doesn't even.
I don't know
brought back. It just didn't. I don't know who brought. There was so many worse cards. I'm like, yeah, let's bring this. Like they banned it for a sick one, good job, and then bringing it back, I don't know who was.
So someone really likes it. I don't get it. It's the first time that like against Despot they went to like branded fusion dump Snow. I'm like, what the hell? Why is this legal? Why did this just happen?
Literally.
I think it just makes sense, especially with the Shizu cards coming out. A lot of people will just play it.
Yeah. But I think Utrecht is fun. It's going to be the last tournament of this format, right? Because then we have Darkwing Blast, which is a big change, and then after we have Magical, whatever that set's called. The Shizu set card.
The more I think about it, the more sad I get because I realize that if I need the Ishizu cards for LA, it's just sad. And if I need, depending on how many cards I need from the new main set as well, that's going to be sad. And I don't want to spend like a K on cases before. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to need 3 of the new Pancratops for Darkwing Blast as well. So if we are doing the UK Open,
I am not doing the UK Open. No. CBA.
Oh, do you want to talk about that?
We can do. Yeah.
That's a good segue.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a segue, but yeah, we UK Open is what? End of the weekend Darkwing Blast comes out, right?
So the weekend after
Yeah.
So for me, that doesn't make any sense. So regionals have just been getting massively filled. Loads of people want to go to like really big regionals, but it's not been possible. UK Open got announced. Everyone's really happy. Regionals can happen again, like the other 2 UK Opens, and the other 2 UK Opens were great. But prize support is just compared to the other events and like the gas that was given prior to it. I don't know, man.
It's not even just the other events. It's just like even comparing it to regionals as well.
Yeah.
Some like personal regional owners are just giving out more prizing.
Yeah.
Like they just and this is like is it like a sponsored event? Like it's
I assume so. It's Konami branded.
Yeah, the Chelmsford Regional literally gave better pricing, and that was 80 man, and it was run in the bottom of a nightclub. This is like a Konami sponsored event.
No, it's fine if it's fine if the scale was blind, but the previous years had better. So all the pricing has Euros has gotten better, so they've just said, "Yep, let's just go down." And I don't know, man. Like it's just a bit.
Everyone was talking
bad.
about it. Everyone, the rumors were everywhere, right? Of like, yeah, UK Open guys, surprising. Oh, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. It's gonna be sick pricing, yeah.
It was,
and then
the rumors were so big that when we saw the announcement, we thought it was cases, not boxes.
yeah, literally, I thought I read that it said 2 displays. So I was like, oh, that's 2 cases. That's crazy. And then someone was like, no, that's just boxes. Like, I was just like, what are you on about? No.
Literally, 80-man regionals give out. No, some. I'm not saying some, but from the expectation of the previous UK Open pricing, where first place got a cake, like it could just be the old pricing, and I'm sure people would have been happy with it. I would have been happy with it.
A console, and then like a trophy and stuff, right?
But it's more so people complain about Yu-Gi-Oh pricing, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna make it worse. Like what?
Yeah.
Like everyone complains about Yu-Gi-Oh pricing, they just said, yep, we're gonna make it worse than the previous years.
To be honest, for Konami as well, they just have to print something that's cool, and the market will give it more value than it's probably worth. But it doesn't even have to be like actual product. It could just be, oh yeah, we'll give this like cool special rarity with a stamp, like the new prize card. We'll say, yeah,
they could do that anywhere. Like I wasn't expecting they could do that.
It's literally like one of the easiest things they could do to just improve pricing, and it costs them very little, and they've not done it.
It's just the main thing of how could it be worse? Like people are complaining about pricing not being great, and the travel. Like they're expecting people to travel, get a hotel, and the pricing is just worse than what it was before. Like,
just toss a prize card in there. I don't know, man. The other ones had prize cards. The other ones were streamed as well, right?
No, I think the UK Opens didn't have prize cards. They had, but it was just like trophy cases, and then games consoles. But either way, that's still like it was always like over $1,000 in pricing, whereas now it's a console and 2 cases.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, if the pricing was always that bad, I actually wouldn't be that fast. If the UK Opens were always that pricing,
exactly.
It's just the expectation. It's like how can it be worse than what it was before when there's just complaints of
what's the player cap that they're aiming for the event?
500.
500.
Yeah.
So they're netting, or like they're seeing, if assuming capacity gets hit, which it very well might, given how UK events have been, normal pricing regardless.
I don't think
that would be £10,000 of just revenue, and they're spending like $1,000 on pricing.
Some events are expensive. Like sometimes actually running like a 200-man tournament is very expensive depending where you are.
Because they're running it in store.
Yeah.
If 30% of, I don't think there's 30% of that amount in the prize pool.
But if from a lot of people I've spoken to, they're just after the pricing announcement, they're off it. I think a lot of us here, Gabe probably isn't, but
I've already bought my train. I'm pissed.
Have you already? Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, I was on it. Like,
no, you can sell that train ticket.
Gabe needs it, bro.
It made sense though, because it was a release weekend of Darkwing Blast, first week of a new set, big regional worlds points wise. Like it would make a lot of sense for it to be hyped, and then they just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm considering it. Like I was full on it before. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I'm on top of Utrecht, I don't think.
I think I'm gonna get my ticket refunded, and then if I top Utrecht and
didn't buy
it goes well, it'll be fine. But
I don't think it'll cap anyways.
No, I don't think it'll hit cap. No.
Yeah, it won't cap. There's no way it gets 500 with this pricing. With good pricing, it might. With this one,
no.
With this was like insane pricing.
I don't think it would have. I think maybe like 250, 300 is what it would have got before.
Yeah.
Now I don't think it'll hit 200 now.
No, it's original. It's honestly original. It has a name UK Open.
But it's also just because it's so far north for like the South people. Like I'm not fussed.
If you live like Birmingham or Norther, you go to that.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, but this is like original. We're not like making any extra effort to go for it.
Yeah.
But before we were like, okay, we don't care. It's Sheffield. We'd still go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm off it now. I can't be bothered. Effort.
Sad.
Actually,
how many German regionals get so many players? Like the one that was on this week in Germany, it was 330 people. You know what? Well, easy mode.
Yeah.
Oh, easy mode. What? Oh man.
I was considering like I'd rather have gone to Dreitich than have gone to UK Open probably.
Yeah.
No, but it's worth multiple regionals. Like if you were to win that, what's the points on that?
Yeah.
I don't even want to do the math. It's like 40 points. That's like winning.
Yeah.
That's like 5-6 UK regionals just going to one.
Yeah. It's worth my time, right? Like, if you think about it, like the time you spend to go to like 5 shits or you
Top cut. No, wait, I think it's you probably like going in like the top 8 maybe is probably the same amount of points as like a YCS top cut for that regional.
We can do the calculation.
336
No,
over
like,
8.
YCS
It's
is
42
a
points.
huge amount.
Yeah,
Like,
YCS
you topped what? Ghent and Milan prior to COVID, and I think you were top 16 for like a while, just off those two.
Yeah. No, but it's like 40 points. So that if you made top 8 of that, it was 40 points. And if it's assume YCS is top 32, like win anywhere between like the bottom 10 will get you the same amount of points if you were to win it.
Yeah, it's just
Which is big.
the motivator.
So for every 8 participants, there's an invite. So for 309, yeah, 48 points.
No, I think it was 336.
It was 109, I think, from Josh's tweet.
He was 9-0.
Oh, okay.
That's where you're getting a 9 from. That's
Oh. Okay, maybe I have a point there. But whatever, 42, right? Doesn't really change much.
It's still a lot.
Still,
Like, that's
insane.
That's insane. Like
That's
like,
more than...
bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
That's crazy.
it's so
It's
insane.
crazy.
Like it's easy mode. It's literally like if you top 4 of them, that's the equivalent of top 4 in like 3 YCSs.
That's more than top 32 in YCS,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
It's more than top 32 in a YCS, so that's why it's like easy mode. It's just a bit discouraging. Like, am I really gonna have to go to this 100-man regional? And like, you gotta maybe win 300-man like 3 different 100-man regionals as the same points as like one top 8 of this 336-man regional, and it's just like.
Because I joked with Josh and Chris that I was considering going to Utrecht if the flights weren't that expensive. Like, because there's a bank holiday today. I was like, fuck it, I'll get a flight to Frankfurt and go play.
Honestly, I think you should have. Now look at
No.
I think you should have.
They didn't expect to be this big, though. They thought it would be 8 rounds, like 200 something. When we talked about it.
336 is nuts.
Yeah. Bro, so many points.
Especially it's the bank holiday weekend. You didn't even need a day off. Like that's probably like the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's a big win. But flights were like 150. Like, I'm not paying 150.
No, for a regional, that's basically Sheffield like hotel.
Bro, trains to Sheffield's like 50 quid.
Bro, I'm getting coached. The coach like tenner. Come on.
Is it? Oh, okay, smart guy.
Oh my god.
How do you think that I went last time?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Humanity.
Yeah, the
Nah,
German
man.
regional just feels super
It's fair.
easy mode to get world's points, which is a bit.
It's motivating
That's
for
what
us,
kind of-
right? Because like over here in the UK, like it's actually just a grind to try and get that many points.
Yeah. We
It's not
get
that
more
bad.
regionals, but
No.
they're smaller.
Sam, is your thing muted, by the way?
Quietly.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Alright,
yeah.
hello.
Um, so I think I'm under the impression that there's not that many regionals in each country this year. I think there's only like 30, 40-ish per country for the entire year.
Mhm.
And if you think in the UK, there's already been like 3, right?
And they're all up north, by the way.
All
They're all
north,
like
yeah.
at the ends.
Yeah.
They were small though. They weren't big. I think they were
No,
above 6
but
round
what
ones.
I'm saying is there could be between only like another 25, 30 regionals in the UK for the rest of the year. And like,
Yeah.
when you think if you're trying to like, if Gabe is actually considering World's Race, that's a tragic sight. Like,
If
Bro,
you
it
are
depends.
serious, it has to be. You have to go abroad. You have to do the big German ones, and you have to do the big French ones. I think it's just one
Yeah,
of
and
them.
it already demotivates me when you think like Germany got like a 40-point regional already, and that's like a month of regionals in the UK committing every single weekend, assuming you top all.
It's probably not even. If you were to win every single regional in the UK for 4 weeks, it might just not be enough. It's the same as winning.
No, it is.
What is it?
It's
60
grim.
amount. The 2 6-rounders in up north might have been for winner 9 points each. Points.
Yeah, 6 points, right?
Less
Yeah,
than that.
I think they're like if there's 6 rounders, they're allowed to 64.
Oh, so it's like 7. It'll be like 7 6 points.
7. Yeah.
So-
7 points.
It's like nothing.
Yeah.
There's no
It's
work
like-
by Saturday.
It's just not. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just.
I think Mike's
It's
planning to
pretty
go pretty hard this year as well. So
Yeah.
Of it all.
I mean, we're gonna get some big ones. I think the Utrecht is one of the biggest German ones, though. So it might not be a case of like every single German region.
But I think a lot of the
true.
German ones are still like 150, 250.
They're
Yeah.
bigger than whatever we have here.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean they're consistently over 200 people, whereas we get like 2 or 3 200-man regionals a year.
But with UK, it's like the space. Like I've seen a lot of places just have issue finding space.
They definitely could have more 200 person regionals, but it's just the people don't want to commit to it.
No, most venues, like most regionals, sell out. I think Northampton sold out already.
Yeah,
They had a 64 man.
No,
well,
it
to be
was
fair,
less,
that
it
is
was
like
only at 50.
kind of Midlands, and it's like 40 or 50 people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's like prime sellout. But
Yeah.
it's just not worth it for them to get like another hall. They're just
Brighton is sold out.
Yeah,
Well.
Brighton took that
What?
Did you get a ticket for that one or no?
Yeah, I got it. I got it this weekend.
I went there a few months ago. The venue's pretty big. There's a lot of space in there. So Dice Saloon in Brighton
Yeah.
is
the
it's
Brighton
a
one.
big store.
Not sold out.
We're sold out, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
No idea. If it's sold out, that's impressive.
I think it is.
I think it should be sold out.
Because I had to buy a second-hand ticket.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It must be
But
sold
what's the
out.
capacity then? Like, do you think?
I
200
don't know.
think it's like
probably
80,
not.
I think. Unless
80? That's like nothing. That's 10 points. That's 10 points
If
for
you
winning.
win, that's if you win. Like realistically, your X1's probably like the expectation. So that's like
Yeah.
7, 6.
Nah, there's more space than just 80 in there.
No, I
They
don't
must
think
have
it's
just
like that much.
split the shop in half.
Yeah, literally. Like, the average is going X1. The average is not going XO. No one here
Yeah,
is
the
insane
average,
enough
like, you
to win
don't-
every single
yeah.
region you go to.
The expectation, can I go X1? Like the 360. If you go 4th, you don't care. You lose 4 points out of 40, like 38 points. You take that.
Exactly. Because I
12.
think you can average being like X1.5 on regionals, more or less, like between X1 and X3 if you're a competent player.
Good expectation.
But for example, in Germany, right? If you go X2 and you get like 17th, that's still more points than winning 2
25
regionals.
points, and that's just a lot easier to do. With variance considered, it's just a lot.
And everyone else just drops. Everyone else will stop dropping around 4 or 5 when they're not good.
With UK too, I do think the player quality in UK is actually very good. Which is
Not
I'm not saying
like
Germany.
Germany.
I know Germany's also
Point.
good too, but I do think also like UK does
The
have
play
a
quality is
decent-
getting a lot
decent
better, right?
standard.
I think in the UK.
Yeah.
I think the UK is smaller. Regionals are smaller, so you play more real people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that just means that the percentage of quality players is just far higher in the UK.
I think it's just because regionals are smaller, so there's a bunch of players that don't go to regionals. Or,
Exactly.
like,
I think it's all
And
also
the-
the same
the-
people are always at the same events, right? Like
The people
Yeah.
that pre-book, if there's only 80 spots, and the people that get those 80 spots, they are the sweaty guys. Like it's not
Yeah.
gonna be
There's-
straddlers.
there's always a 30 men that we know that's like in every single regional.
There was one regional that actually offered them to actual locals first, and a lot of the sweaty people started raging about not being able to get
That is
tickets.
good. I do like.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
do appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree.
You should be running like events for your locals. Like
Yeah,
It's a
for
big
it to be
event for your locals.
snapped up by
That's
you know.
so my locals.
I didn't want to name them because
Yeah,
if they'd
yeah.
get in trouble.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah, we all
No,
know.
I think it's a good thing.
Right.
I actually do.
Yeah,
think it's a
it's
good thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like so my locals are or have been against running regionals, even though the store definitely has a capacity for it, but mainly because they don't want to almost alienate the local player base and like demotivate them from going to events, which I kind of get, but they also just don't want to hold an event where the local players can't get into the event. But
I think given priority, I think it might. I
Yeah.
think it's nice. Like
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
weird.
try
It's
it.
weird
I'm gonna-
discrimination.
convince, but yeah.
I think the way Mike does it's nice. Shout out to Mike as usual. Just sells them a day before to people from locals.
Yeah.
It's hard though. Like it's just like the ideal scenario would just be having bigger venues,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's doable in the UK.
No. Especially like when you're in London or like the south where like venues are
Yeah.
stupidly
Yeah.
expensive.
London's
And
so expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
As
London's
well,
just too
because
expensive.
most of the only stores that are allowed to run regionals now are brick and mortar. So they're ones that should have playing space already. So there's just not that incentive for them to
Yeah.
spend this additional money for a huge event space. That yeah.
Their profit will be similar, and it's just riskier for a store to run a bigger
Yeah.
event. Like
Yeah, it's
they
not like
have
the
to
stores-
commit a bigger space, and then people come, pre-reg don't come, or if they don't fail, there's no benefit. There's really no benefit. Like if you run a 60-man regional at the store, you probably earn more than if you run a 500-man regional at a venue. You have to hire.
Yeah.
No, it's not like these stores are making loads of money. So sometimes they do look at this regional. It's like, okay, this is like a nice this is like a big event, like nice margins. Obviously not crazy margin, but it is. understand from their point of view. They don't want to.
I think
They can't
timing
make a
as
lot of
well.
money from this.
If you're running something on like Darkwing Blast release weekend, we're not shitting on the Open anymore. But like, if you were, you'd expect to make like a huge amount of sales just on product that weekend as well. But like, if you're doing it like this lame duck period, like now, it's just like, what's the point?
People aren't that invested, so what's the point? Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's straight up. I'm shitting the UK Open again because the date was perfect.
Yeah.
Right after Utrecht, first week of releasing new set, everyone's gonna be hyped. First proper big event in the UK since Nats,
Yeah.
and then you just fumbled.
Yeah. I'm again, as I said, I'm low-key happy because I don't have to buy a case of Darkwing Blast to get stupid cards.
I don't need to test, bro. You know, like a week before the cards are announced, you don't need to
What
do
do you
those.
mean? What do you mean
That was
testing,
the thing.
bro? We're just rocking
Test,
up with
bro.
Dragon Lord.
We'd be testing for Utrecht, and then we'd be testing for this event, because if the pricing was like as insane as we were expecting to be, it was worth it. Like testing for this Darkwing Blast, and then we'd be testing for Utrecht as well. So there are basically three overlapping formats.
Right? There's because it will be UK Open. There's Leeds. Oh, all right. Leeds Regional has better pricing than the UK Open. The week after, literally the week after.
And they're running it in store, I think.
Yeah, it's in the shop.
And it's
Better
closer,
pricing.
right? Is Leeds closer? I feel like Leeds is closer.
No. Leeds is
Is Leeds
far
further?
away.
Am I just like, is my geography now bad in the UK? Who knew?
I don't know. I'm not British, but I think Leeds is farther away.
I think Leeds is farther north, yeah.
What we do know is that Gabriel will be testing dragons. It doesn't matter. Gabriel will still be testing dragons.
If it wasn't Rhodes Point, I would show up to the UK Open with dragons for a laugh. But now, bro, Rhodes Point, bro.
No gimmick.
They're actually like right by each other, Alex. So like,
Yeah, I
there's not
thought
much
so.
of a difference. But Leeds is a bit more north.
Northerners.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
it's so
okay. It's
far.
like it's like an extra like half an hour. That's not too bad.
It's so far. Oh my god,
I
where do you
know.
want to go?
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I
Like,
can't
please
remember,
can we-
bro.
I really hope we start getting events like close to the Midlands. Like
It's
Milton
just more
Keynes,
expensive, I guess, to
Birmingham.
host, right?
It can't be
Maybe
that.
not.
No, well, no, 'cause
like,
it's I literally don't get it. Like,
It's more so brick and mortar stores, and they're just
Yeah.
not like. At the end of the day, it's a lot of organization to go out your way to get another venue. When
Yeah, but
some
if-
shops
if-
aren't too invested in Yu-Gi-Oh, like you gotta understand, like the way their shop generates money is probably from other TCG sales or other game sales. So they get a big Yu-Gi-Oh event. It's not like crazy invested. Put an event on for the players, but some of them won't go
but,
hard.
like, if you get 300 people in your store one weekend for a sponsored tournament by the actual card game runners, you're gonna make bank. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but
right.
not. But there's not a sponsored tournament every week. Unfortunately, it's just
No.
Yeah, we're shitting on one specifically. It's
yeah, I'm just a bit, yeah.
uh,
Demotivated
Yeah,
is the
no.
word I'd say. But
yeah, and then I don't know, 'cause if I don't go play UK Open, I don't really want to go play Leeds the week after.
mm,
Because then there's kind of like testing for one format when Pasadena is a completely different format the other week. But then if you don't play those, you're not playing the two biggest regionals in the UK, and then what's the point of the points? Like, it's bad regardless. There's no winning.
yeah.
like it's literally just Utrecht. If one of us does Utrecht, it kind of makes more
Yeah.
incentive to do the Sheffield
Yeah.
Leeds
Yeah, I
back to
think
back.
we just follow up, see how Utrecht goes, and then we see.
Yeah, I think like if you top Utrecht, you might just well commit and do both.
Yeah.
and
I
just
feel
say-
like if one of us commits, then more of us commit, right? I think as well.
If
Yeah.
Utrecht is 64 though, top 64,
Yeah,
the
it
points
is
increase massively.
So if you track 64 and you top 16, you should get like 100 points or some shit.
You got 100
Yeah.
points.
Have tickets
I-
gone out for
yeah.
Utrecht? I can't even remember. They have, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
bought them.
Yeah,
Over
yeah.
100 points.
Yeah.
Some still available because I remember it was pretty slow. Like even a few
I don't
hours
know,
after it
but-
came out, it was
Let
still
me
available.
check my Apple Wallet.
But the Utrecht venue is like insanely big.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
It is.
Like it was 64 pre-pandemic, and so it probably should be 64 now. Honestly,
But
Yeah.
I don't know how many players we will get because a month before it is a bit crazy.
yeah. And apparently it's pretty expensive for Italians and for people like me.
There are like a dozen or so people that would have gone Euros if there was more notice, but they just booked other holidays in August. And
We,
Yeah.
we don't get any of the Americans too, like for our YCS because there's
Yeah.
Quinto, isn't there for
Yeah,
the 3v3?
I don't keep them.
I reckon
So,
some
unlike
Europeans would have booked Quito as well. 'Cause,
Yeah, Ralph does.
Raf's going.
he's
Rafa's
been pegged
going.
out of Utrecht twice now. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He lives in the same country too, bro. He
I
just
know.
he just takes a
Bro,
train.
Nah, it's legit like 20 minutes from his house.
That's so funny. That he's just like been pegged out for
It's,
YCS.
he's going like all the way around to the other side of the world.
Literally, just instead of going like 20 minutes down.
Same
the road.
pricing, bro. Same pricing.
It's fine. This is vendor money. Vendor money gets there.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a bit scuffed. But I hope Utrecht 64, and I think that's kind of going to be the way to go about it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, we'll try again next year.
Yeah.
We'll
Just
see.
win Euros.
Just win. Just win Euros. Oh, has it kicked in yet that you're not going to Worlds?
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. No, I hate how like
Nah.
I hate
Yeah.
how like chill you are about that. No, I'll be pissed.
It's not that
Nah,
deep.
I'd be
This is-
as well.
this was kind of like after breakup. Nah, we're fine.
Now we're fine.
We're good.
No, fine. You know what it is? I don't think you know what it is. I think Worlds, I think you have to go multiple times just because if you it is 5 rounds, top 8, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. I know you could build well. It's just I feel like with Worlds you can be the best player in the room with the best deck, just not do well and just don't get not rewarded. It's not like a very intense or thorough way of the scene who's the best player in the room. It's literally just 5 rounds top 8.
Yeah.
They easily could be more rounds. They could be like better top. Like there could be a better system, best player in the room to do well, but it's just not like that.
It's not about winning worlds. It's about going to worlds.
Yeah,
That's right.
Winning worlds is
yeah. You're
I
not.
mean, like,
yeah.
it's
If
a
I'm going
free
there, I'm
chip
going to
chat,
win.
man. Like,
I'm going to-
no, of course.
I think you would win.
There
as
is,
well,
like-
that's the worst bit.
There's a worse bit. Actually, would. You'd flip rivalry or some shit.
You'd have 3
But that's what
trophies
the-
on your
was-
wall. 3 different event
Oh,
wins.
wasn't the Trickstar player that won it was flipping goals in, wasn't he? I thought that was so smart.
No,
I
yeah,
didn't.
bro.
Like,
I thought it was smart.
These guys came with like high level goalkeeper. He was like goes in.
Nah, he was normal summoning Spectre border and flipping goals. It was
Yeah,
barely a
yeah,
trickster. That.
Oh, you're gonna beat the best players in the world by just you can't outplay them, bro. You just can't. Like,
I agree. I think you have to find something ignorant.
Oh,
Like,
you
it's
man
one of
are
those-
funny. You man
Like-
are funny.
how are you looking at Jesse Cotton with his Goki deck? I know what I'm gonna outplay him. No, I'm flipping goals in. Wait, do something. Do something.
I do like that Worlds you expect to see like literally like extremely polished meta decks. And the first Worlds that I watched after coming back, the first feature match was fucking Madolce. This was like 2016, even before like.
Oh,
The
this was
fuck support.
Always
yeah,
fit.
yeah.
Bullshit.
So
There were 2
like,
coaches that event one day.
What was it?
Were
Yeah,
there?
was it?
Shit,
It was the
was
Madolche
dude.
deck, and he was playing that like train card that like the gates attacks or some shit. I swear.
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I remember.
Nah,
that.
my favorite Worlds is the one that everyone just gave up and played Blue Eyes. And every match was
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Eyes mirror. They just bricked half the time.
Mm,
Because the ban list just hit everything. Was it like
Yeah.
each ban list just somehow hit like every single deck? And for some reason, Blue Eyes was just the pick.
It's because like OCG and TCG were so different on their hits that every deck they hit in different ways. So you couldn't even play like a nerfed version of deck. They had like no cards left.
yeah.
Blue Eyes was the only like somewhat playable deck.
Somewhat playable, being not really. But
The finals of that world is just
Nice
Eric Christensen breaking twice.
yeah.
He goes first, passes, goes first, passes. Like he lost the world's final like that. Imagine.
It's a bit sad, to be honest. It's a little bit too sad for me. But oh well.
But yeah.
Well, that's about it, right? Has anyone else got anything else to say?
yeah.
No, I
I
think
think it was a
it's
good
good.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
More
think it
southern
was a
events in
quality-
the army.
Please give us south.
More events near us,
Yeah.
or actually give us a northern and southern regional on the same weekend, rather than 2 northern and then 2 southern the next weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe
they just give 2 regionals because they know there's more players than there's room in the regionals. They gotta give 2 in the south so everyone can like divide and go to some of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just know it's scuffed.
It's all scuffed.
Yeah.
Anyway, shouts to the Brotherhood Games, Mike, Metamats, Card Market. He said, "Oh yeah, Card Market guy said, congrats on winning, Marcus as well. There you go. That's all you need. Not Gamers Apparel or the Flag people, and yeah, we'll see you at events. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe if there's events. If there's events.